is another wonderful Wednesday night sports delight because this is ladies' night. Oh, and shout out to our favorite viewer. Hi, Miss Williams.
Miss Williams. Whenever you see Joanne, not Joe.
Oh, the alter ego.
Roll now.
Oh, Stringa.
What's going on? I do like a ghost. Okay.
I mean, and that's just my one excuse to look silly on the sidelines, and I'm totally okay with it. I'm doing my job.
All right, Coach Willis. Well, speaking of,
Everyone, welcome to the Platform Sports Talk Show. It's your girl, Buddy. I'm glad y'all are here to join us for another wonderful evening.
telling y'all, when you get on this show on the Ladies' Night, boy, I tell you, you are bringing people's careers to a whole nother level. I'm telling you. So here. Yay! Somebody's watching. Shout out to everybody tuning in on Platform Sports Talk Show on Facebook. Yes, or YouTube. Thank you.
That win, girl.
I was like, well, Brandon, does Michelle Smallman text you at 11:45 at night?
You let them know, right? No matter what the time, it came through, right?
Yes, I thought that was really dope.
So my question is, how do you balance that passion and emotion in your profession?
So for some of these guys, they're like, even if I do win, it's not going to be enough for some people. So why don't I just go ahead and get the money?
Living the dream. I do it all the time. I'm a dream catcher, right? So I chased a dream and I caught it.
Because I took this crazy leap of faith in May of 2011 at 23 years old to buy a basketball team. And everyone thought I had lost my mind.
Just kind of shed light, women coaches, like, hey, we bring it too. we bring it.
What up, what up, what up? Guess what? Happy New Year! I said, guess what? Because we have another wonderful edition of Ladies Night and we're feeling right. Tell them, lady, come on. Everybody, welcome to the Platform Sports Talk Show, and it's your girl, Bunny. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. We appreciate everyone. Again, Happy New Year 2023. We have some bigger and better things. For one, this is the 2-year anniversary of Ladies Night. Yeah, the ladies been running things for 2 years. Gotta get a shout out to our producer, Smoooth, for giving us this opportunity. And for everyone tuning in on the Platform Sports Talk Show, if you are on our Facebook page, make sure you leave all comments under the Platform Sports Talk Show page. Also, we are streaming live on YouTube. So, hey, you know, let me finish the introduction. We're on YouTube. You know why we're on YouTube? It's a great thing because we need everybody to subscribe. And guess what happens when they subscribe? No, they don't cry. They get. Oh, really? Okay. Well, our guest here, Miss Sanai, doesn't want to talk about YouTube, but that's all right. And also, we have all our archive shows on the Roku channel. Also, shout out to Hot 365, Hot 365 Radio. And we have a new streaming place as well on the Twitch channel. Woo! I'm telling you, we're starting out 2023 bigger and better things. Twitch is good. Hot 365 is good. Oh, come on. So, without further ado, let me bring in our one and only lady with the blues, all things Cardinals, coming all the way from the Boondocks, Joe Bo. Bring it up, Joe Bo.
What up? Happy first Wednesday of 2023.
Happy Wednesday of 2023 to you too, honey. Yeah.
First ladies' night of the new year.
I know. I can't believe it's been 2 years. I think time is just. Oh, I know. Pat Prego brain. That's what it is. I'm like, yeah.
It flies by.
Have me forget a whole year. But anyway, so how did your New Year go? You do anything fun and exciting?
We kind of just sat at the house, hung out. Surprisingly, Mia stayed awake the whole time. She was fighting it. We were trying to get her to go to bed, and she knew something exciting was about to happen, I guess. So she stayed awake. She watched the fireworks out here. But now her sleep schedule's all messed up. So, with the move here and the holidays and her birthday, we're getting there. But yeah, it was fun. Just sat at home, honestly. Now that I'm a parent of a 2-year-old. New Year's is a little different these days, but I don't hate it. How about you?
Man, I've dozed off before midnight. And then I think Sasha, your favorite little 4-year-old, asked her, like, hey, is it New Year's? And I woke up, I'm like, oh, it's about to be New Year's. So we did I don't even know if we did a countdown. Remember when I say I was half asleep? I know when midnight hit because I heard the fireworks, shotguns, whatever, all that going off. And within 2 minutes, I was back sleeping. So, yes, it is different when you have a little one, I must say. What we did last year, we did a little toast, like had sparkling cider and stuff. Mm-hmm. I dropped the ball. I didn't even have the sparkling cider, no wine, no nothing. So, I'll get it together next New Year's. But no, I was asleep by like 12:02.
Hi, Miss Williams. Happy first Wednesday.
We renamed her.
I forgot.
That's Miss Dub.
I'm Dub. I forgot. I'm so used to saying Miss Williams.
Right. And I got another good old ladies' night guru here. She is the associate basketball women's assistant basketball coach at Mobep. Also the one and only head honcho of Action No Mercy. The one, the only Coach Stringer. Bring her on.
What's poppin'?
Say hi. Say hi, Coach Stringer.
What's up?
Hey.
Say, I'm ready. I'm ready to get trained. I'm ready. As much energy as I have running around getting on mommy's nerves. Yeah. I got
on my way.
I'm only one, but I'm ready. I got a lot of energy. Let's go. Happy New Year, Coach Stringer. How you been?
Here, I've been busy, drained, running like a chicken with his head cut off. So it's been a lot.
That's your life, though, right?
I'm used to it.
Okay.
At this point.
If you had a stunt double, would that help? Or you and a stunt double be running around with your head cut off?
We will both be probably running around crazy. It's a lot. It's definitely a lot, but I'm blessed, so I'm not gonna complain about it.
Oh, good to hear. And are y'all on the road for Mobap this week, or y'all in the at home?
I think they play tomorrow at Stevenson's College. I want to say, I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know. It's a lot to manage that, doing Action on Mercy, being the coach with all these up and coming athletes that are getting signed and committed. I mean, every time I look up on your page, I'm like, it's another athlete committed. I'm like, this is so dope.
That's my number one priority right now is getting my kids to college. So that's where my focus is right now. And they have been driving me crazy, insane. And they wait last minute. Some of the kids wait last minute to get things done. Some people are ready to commit. So we're in the midst of getting ready for commitments and taking some more college visits. So this is going to be a pretty busy next 2 months.
Okay. Well, just to let you know, since you are, of course, one of our regulars with the Ladies Night panel here, you know, our producer wants to start a new segment called About That Action.
He's so catchy.
Come on. What's up about that action?
He does a good wordplay.
I know. I love it, though. I said, look at the producer skills.
He might be a rapper low key.
Really?
He might be.
Okay, well, maybe that's gonna be his next lifetime. So we're gonna make sure we're gonna touch on about that action. I have my little one that messed up my cup, so I had to keep it rated PG in my cup, guys. FYI. Yeah. But don't worry about me because you know there's nothing in here. And look, don't worry about her cup either. She came to the table with her cup too, y'all. We both got cups, but since you know nothing's in my cup, and right now we're trying to work on getting something in her cup. I don't know if you guys have anything in your cup, but please, if you do share. Like I said,
water and milk.
Water and milk.
Water.
Okay, water dehydrated. Okay, I can see that. Milk. I only drink milk pretty much with my cereal. And then she has, and look, Jumbo got water too. Oh wow.
Yeah. I don't know. I've been drinking so much water lately.
Is that part of your a New Year's resolution thing, or?
Oh, no, I mean, I drink a lot of water in general. Like, I go to bed with 2 water bottles every night, and I probably drink about a bottle and a half, and then I had to wake up in the morning, and I gotta go. But no, I just try to be a little healthier, try to get us to be healthy and Mia to eat a little healthier. So, but yeah, that's what that's all about.
Somebody try to feed me something in her cup.
Gotta love it.
Girl, doing the most. And I told you I'm trying to get something in her cup because she drank it already, but trying to get water. Look, which I drink a lot of water, I'm trying to get more water in hers, and she try to fight back on me sometimes.
So cute.
Just gotta put some of the flavored stuff in it.
I put some juice. It's literally, watered down juice. It's so watered down. I would spit it out, but it's for her.
No, like Mia likes the Crystal like pink lemonade.
Oh, that sounds fruity and good.
It is really, really good, but Mia loves it, so that's what she drinks all day long.
Oh, okay. Hey. Okay. We know it's your cup's empty. We know you want something in it. You don't have to force mommy to drink air right now. Yeah, I'm telling you, this one is something else. So for New Year's, since I told you I didn't drink anything, I fell asleep. I was like, well, next year we'll do something different. I'll be better prepared. So I will have a sparkling cider. Plus, my cup will be filled with probably an adult beverage. I can do best of both worlds.
Oh, man. I was sleeping at 9 o'clock on New Year's Eve.
Whoa.
I was knocked out.
That's way too
early. You must have been running from sun up to sundown.
I was in Atlanta, so I was outside.
Oh, okay.
That night, I was just like, I'm not going to be able to stay up. I laid down for I was like, give me 10 minutes. I fell asleep. I woke up to watch New Edition on the countdown. After they performed, my mom called me, come watch it, come watch it. I went to sleep after that again. I woke up in time to count down 10 to 5, and I was asleep after that. So, yeah, I was done.
Oh, man. I don't want to be like that on New Year's.
I was done. Maybe next year. I'll try. Well, this year. I'll try again.
Yeah, this year. I know it feels weird saying this year for Christmas. Like Christmas this year, even though we just had Christmas.
Right. Go out too fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, that's why I said part of, like you said, Joe Ball, being an adult, especially when you have somebody running around the house, your New Year's sometimes plans gets a little different. It wasn't what you were doing 10 years ago. Let's say that.
Yeah.
That's all right, though. We made the best of it. So Coach Trick, I know you're only gonna be on here. Hey. She
Oh,
respected you and let you talk.
show the doggy real quick. I need to
Oh
see
yeah,
this.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now, last time y'all saw him, he was a little pup.
Oh, look how cute. What's his
I
name?
mean, how big is wait a minute? It
He
literally was
big now.
small, like putting your hand. How is that dog that big now?
Man, he is big.
What are you feeding him? Goodness gracious.
People.
Not to me.
Oh, so cute.
He went to Atlanta, was acting a fool.
Oh, that was new territory. He never been to Atlanta before, has he?
Oh, he went
That's
acting
why.
a fool. The whole time.
Oh, I'm telling you, whatever you feed him, baby, that's some quick action because you literally can hold him in your hand now.
Yeah,
Both of your arms.
he's big, man. Just King Kong over here.
You got to know her looking scared. She's like, what is that? Well, I know you're not gonna be on here for the whole time, Coach. So I'm gonna let you go ahead and get your time in. So we're gonna talk about that action. So you gotta let us know about that action in a few minutes. What's going on in your world?
Oh, man.
The basketball.
Well, I just ended my season for MoBap with the JV developmental team. I think we ended the season, I want to say 4-9 or 4-10. That was a very busy 3 months. We were waking up at 4:45, 5 every morning, going to practice from 5:30 to 7, almost every morning, and then I'm leaving there to go teach high school students from 7 to 2. So those mornings were crucial. So I'm kind of like, I'm sad it ended, but I'm like, I can sleep in a little more now. So that was the biggest thing that was happening last year. I can say that now because New Year. And then doing a lot more with Action on Mercy. More opportunities have been coming about. More students been coming. More success, more pipelines. I think I've probably built an extra 1,000 pipelines this past year, so I'm very proud of that. Okay, so good question. Yeah, so it is different with different schools and different levels. Particularly like D1 and D2, they're usually wanting their athletes that they know are going to play to commit pretty early. Pretty much like the first semester. A lot of D3s and NAIAs and JUCOs are looking to get student athletes to commit as soon as possible. But I've had kids commit in the summertime to these schools because after December, you're looking at the transfer portal. You're looking at people that's trying to come from JUCO to higher divisions. And you're losing kids because some kids aren't ready to be in college. So they're failing classes, they're dropping out. So it's a lot more opportunities that come about it. This year itself, I've gotten a lot more student athletes looking to transfer from college to college. And that's been the biggest thing I have to adjust with because I now see what student athletes face as a college coach. So I've had a lot of parents contact me, hey, my kid's not doing well because they're not gelling with the coach. They were promised this type of scholarship or this placement and they didn't see this placement, or even, it's just the environment they're not that adapted to. So it's a lot of different things that go into committing or decommitting or even transferring. So it's a lot. And, I hope to open up a lot of eyes with the new season of Reject to Respect that comes out this Sunday. So I'm excited about that. And hopefully I can kind of give insight on what it's like to be in college as an athlete as well.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Has the NIL or transfer portal affected Action on Mercy? Basically on a scale of 1 to 5, how the transfer portal affected Action on Mercy? Like for the good, on a 1 to 5, like 3 bad, 3 good, 2,
The transfer portal has hurt, not Action on Mercy, but it's hurt some of the athletes that I've been in contact with because it might be some high level athletes I have under me, but instead of them getting those opportunities, a lot of coaches are looking to get more athletes with the maturity and just a resume. They're looking for kids in that transfer portal rather than a senior high school that might be about the same talent wise as them. So a lot of kids have missed out on those opportunities, but I kind of think it's a good thing because I think most kids should go JUCO, take a year or two JUCO, kind of ease their way into college, because I feel a lot of kids jump into college thinking it's gonna be easy and they fail. And they contact me again like, Coach, I ain't playing basketball no more. I couldn't handle it. So I tell a lot of my kids, take the JUCO route. You play a year to a JUCO. It's easier for you to transfer than trying to compete coming out of high school, trying to get those high division scholarships. As far as the NIL deals, I'm still not really big on it. I don't know much about it still. I don't encounter it as much, so it doesn't affect me or my business. But I do know the transfer portal is kind of taking opportunities away from a lot of the seniors that I have, because, like I said, coaches are looking to grab those mature players rather than the fresh kids out of high school.
So a couple questions regarding that. So if you send transfer portal affecting your seniors that you have, I mean, what would you do differently then to where we can't get rid of the transfer portal? The transfer portal has always been there. I don't think people realize that. It's just you don't have to sit out that year. So people just, jump it. But what would you do different if you were over the NCAA? What would you different to say, hey, I got the transfer portals here, but I got these seasons not fair to them. They compete with you all. Like what parallel, could you put out there? A program, another school? Like you said, what could you do, you think?
I think it really comes down to exposure. I wouldn't say that it's impossible for these kids not to get the same opportunities to go D1 or D2. But my thing is, the parents I talk to, the players I talk to, they wait to the last minute. They want to be recruited as seniors to play D1 or D2. And the thing that people don't realize is that if you're not on that list early in your high school career, you're not going to get those opportunities unless you just come out the blue and you're LeBron James. But I think the biggest thing that high schools can do to help these kids before they even come to me is really marketing their players, posting stats, posting game tapes, because it really comes down to what they're doing in their high schools. If they don't have anything marketing them before their senior year, they're not going to get any opportunities. So I won't say it's all bad for the transfer portal, but it's really what you're doing before the last minute. So if it was up to me, I would probably try to educate my parents that's over my kids in high school or even AAU, because it comes down to what you're doing before that senior year. But even before the junior year, if you're not making any buzz for yourself, right now the game is really about what social media shows. And people don't understand that game tape, if the coach is on Twitter and looking at your name, everything is on social media, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Coaches see all those things. It's different time. You don't have to no longer go to games and sit and watch these kids. You can watch a video, a 30-second video, and know if this kid's good or not. So I would just, if it was up to me, change a lot more of the marketing, a lot more of the how coaches and how programs are marketing their kids.
Okay. So let me ask you, what have you learned from coaching high school players and coaching college players? I know you do men and women at Action No Mercy, and you're doing women's basketball now. So what have you learned between the two?
Man, I learned a lot. I learned
time. Go ahead.
Patience. I think coaching high school, I think it's a different drive. Like when I coach high school boy players, they're eager. They want to prove that they can play D1 or D2. Some kids are more wanting more than others. But with boys, it's all or nothing for them. It's I gotta make it or it's nothing. With girls, is at the end of the day, I'm gonna get my academics, but I'm a hoop if I can do it. But coaching both in high school is a different drive than coaching college, in my opinion. Just itself, coaching MOBAP this year, the drive was there, the kick was there, but it all comes down to support as well. Having support beyond just the coach. I realized that the environment takes a lot out of it and gains a lot in it as well. But the drive in college, it's like for a lot of kids that's in college, it's either you're going to do what you got to do or somebody else is going to take your spot. And with high school, you can play on the team and sit on the bench or, miss a game, but you're still on the team. In college, the scholarship's on the line. It's money on the line. If you don't do what you're going to do, you're losing that somebody else won as bad as you do. So it's just a different ball. It's a different world, man. I think as a coach, you just got to stick with what your truth, and have your desire. I say that me coaching MOBAP this year was a big eye-opener for me, because I saw that the girls were so excited to have that person that believed in them, somebody that pushed them, somebody that was willing to bring the best out of them and not just do it for fun. You know, so many coaches are getting jobs because they're already in the school, and it's a way to keep money in there, you know. But when you do it out of pure heart, it's more better than what more people can expect. So I think that it really depends on what you bring to the table in any situation.
Okay. Man, I'm telling you, I know I told you this before. I was like, I feel you could take this information. Like I said, I know you did with high schoolers now with Action No Mercy, but and you talking about some of the parents need to be taught as far as more for your kid from junior year. But it still just needs to be a quick little workshop or something, because if you talk about the transfer portals here now, like I said, they didn't go anywhere. It's just you don't have to sit out, and more people are taking it. It's more people need to be educated, because I just don't want people to miss out, and not just athletes, but because education. You're going to college to get education. Hope you better yourself. You learn something, because most people when they do college sports, they're not going to become a professional athlete, at least getting paid. So the time you're in college, when you're playing hard, get something out of there so you can make a career out of what you want to do, whether you want to be a trainer, basketball coach, volleyball coach, whatever. And I just want you, because you got so much information, your hands on the ground with this, to just spread it on, because it's just only going to get bigger and bigger with more people going to transfer portal. But I read this article last week that when people complain about the transfer portal, they said, but look at TCU. TCU's football team was ranked number 4 in the country. They defeated Michigan. They're heading to the national championship game on Monday. Now, mind you, they have a full of. Excuse me. You don't like TCU? Oh, okay. The transfer portal is full of those players that TCU has. So it's like some schools it pays off, and some maybe not so much. I don't know, but we'll see. But your information you have is so valuable. Please keep sharing it. I just want the best for these high school athletes, so they can go and get something out of college besides just playing their sport, but be prepared to be able to get a scholarship.
It's a lot. Like I said, this probably was one of the most intense years outside of coaching. Just the conversations I've been having with parents, man. I promise you, in November, I had parents calling me every other day. Can you help me get my kid to transfer? Can you help me put my kid somewhere else? And I'm like, why? Why don't you like the school? Why do you want to transfer your kid, man? It's a lot. It's a lot that goes back into it. And I will have to write a book.
Look, I said do a workshop seminar. You said write a book. Well, have at it, whatever works for you. But you got so much knowledge. I would love for you to keep sharing with parents. And I said junior when you said when they start looking into the colleges and recruiting, but I guess it should be like freshman year, like when people doing FAFSA, when they have to learn how that works. When you learn about how to apply for scholarships, don't wait till that year of. Years before it started, you know how the process works. When you get there, you're ready to go. You're not on the sideline. You're not scrambling. So if you want to write a book, have at it. But start with the webinar. Start when you're having a parent meeting. A lot of high schools do the parent meeting before the season starts.
Right.
Do that, whatever. Because I told my sister, she's athletic director of Hazelwood Central. But when she was at Vashon, I told her, have a parent meeting. I said, I know they just looked at the athletics, but because the FAFSA changed, remember FAFSA used to do beginning of the year in January, and they moved it to October a couple years ago. I said that's when parents need to be knowing when school starts in August. All that needs to be sold then about the FAFSA in October, about all this upcoming stuff, and don't wait to the year of, because I know people have life going on. You may forget about deadlines, but colleges, they have deadlines too, and they said your kid on the sideline missing out. They're like, oh well. So yeah. I can't wait for that book to come out.
Hey, I'm gonna be talking to my phone so I can write everything. That's why I do reject it to respect it, because I can show the good, bad, and the ugly. I can actually put it on camera what's happening. So, I try to with Action No Mercy, with the parents and the kids, we meet often. We have conversations as a whole. And I talk to the kids. We FaceTime, we Zoom, we do all kind of things. When we go to schools, we talk, we make decisions together. That's why I think my perspective of things is taken more respectively, because parents know I'm engaged. I'm not going to steer them in the wrong direction to be bamboozled. I say that, but it's really neat how I've been able to adapt and help these parents and these kids find success. And this year I cut my numbers down a little bit just so I can focus more on a smaller group. But last year when I had 20 plus kids and I was working and finding like different loopholes through the junior colleges or the D1, like I had one kid I was supposed to go to Lindenwood And Linda was D2, and he got there, and now it's D1. So he was thinking he's gonna play D2 basketball, but he's playing D1 football now. So it was just a lot that I learned throughout this process, and I think a lot of kids. I think workshop might be really well. Now that you said, I think it might be educational because kids are. If it's not on TikTok or Instagram, they have no clue about anything rather than what celebrity they see right now is doing something that they're not gonna do.
Amen, sister. Amen. I mean, and you know what? Because I'm looking, Jobo has little Mia's too. And 16 years from now, when her daughter ready to go to college and she may be a sophomore player like her mama, Joe's gonna be like, man, back in my day, we didn't have any of this, we didn't have to do all of this. And she's gonna see the changes. And all you're looking at is like, I just want to play softball, but it's so much more entailed. So Joe, get ready.
Well, I'm already like thinking that just listening to you talk now that we didn't have this stuff whenever I was in. It's only been 10 years ago, but it's so different already, compared to than when I was in high school. If I knew about this stuff, I would have worried a lot about my grades and so on and so forth. But I really didn't care about that stuff, going to high school. I just wanted to play softball and get out of there. But yeah, there's so much more stuff nowadays, to get your name out there, people like you to help out. So yeah, hopefully whenever Mia gets to that point, they have people like you and others that can help her get to where she wants to go.
For sure. Whatever I can do, man, because I know it's the same in all sports. I mean, I got asked to do football recruitment. I'm like, I don't know nothing about, but I can learn how to recruit football. But it's all
the message is the same, even if the sports different certain things of it, the message still be the same.
Yeah, I just wish that more programs, and it sucks because when I go to these schools, I won't say all schools, when I go to these schools to see my kids play and I'm watching the atmosphere and I'm watching after the game how stats are put in our game tape, and it's like if I wasn't marketing my players that I have under action or mercy, they wouldn't have any stats, any game tape. So it's like it really hurts players that programs do not share this information. I have a lot of coaches that always ask for full game tape. It's half the time I can't even produce full games. I have to go to the games myself and try to record as much as I can just to give to these coaches because I can't get it any other way. And then, when these kids do get scholarships and sign their commitment papers, it's like, okay, this is great for the school, but what did you do to help contribute to this kid get his opportunity? And I don't take anything from anybody. If anything, I want to help these high schools kind of help these players. But it's kind of like if I wasn't there, how would this kid have had an opportunity to get there? So that's a lot of things that I struggle with internally as far as my emotions being tied into this is because if I wasn't helping these kids, would they have the opportunities or would they be struggling trying to figure out how to get their stats out there, how to get their game tape, how to contact these coaches because they don't have the in-house help. So that is a lot. Like I said, it's a lot. And I'm grateful and honored that I'm able to, assist these families and these kids because there's a lot of kids that would not have ever had a chance if it wasn't for me or any other person that's doing this kind of work.
I'm sorry. One more question for you. When is the Rejected to Respected video coming out?
It's dropping this Sunday.
Oh, okay. Where can we catch it? You gotta drop us the info. Where can we catch it?
It's gonna be on YouTube. So it's gonna be nice. I think last season, it's the third season. So the first season was more about who I was and introducing the AAU world, and that was crazy. That's actually when I had Smoooth in that season. He did my birthday. And then last season, I actually walked everyone through the recruitment process. So I got 4 kids, and I recruited their whole journey from when they signed with me till they committed. And you see them getting hurt, their injuries, when they couldn't play, the comeback stories, senior nights, just everything. So this season was more about the growth of what's been transparent. Like I put Mobap in there, me coaching the girls on college level. A lot more of my players I have this year. A couple of events I've done where I'm talking. I hate talking publicly, so I took a step to not be shy last year, and I started to do more speeches and talks in for crowds and all that good stuff. But a lot more people in there that's speaking about what they observed, what they have been impacted with. So it's gonna be a lot more personal. Man, I got a lot of guests this season, so I'm excited about that.
Okay, I'm excited for you. And my favorite line from you, balls in the face, baby.
I can't wait to scream that. I haven't coached my boys in a long time, but I got a lot built in to tell these boys when I see them. I actually went. The boy I used to tell that to. He plays for East West Chicago, East West University in Chicago, and he played down here against was it UMSO? They played against UMSO. This is the first time I've seen him play since I coached him. And he went up for a dunk and he missed. I said, if you don't put your balls in his face, he said, I didn't even know you was here, coach.
I love it. I love it. That line will never get old. I'm telling you, Coach Trigger. When you said that when I first did the interview, I was like, I ain't gonna never forget this line. Like, I've never heard anybody else use it. So that definitely fits you. You can have it, trademark it, okay?
For sure.
That's hilarious. Balls to the face. All right. We got one of our guys from the Man Cave saying happy anniversary to us. It's our 2-year anniversary here at Ladies Night. So thank you, Stanton.
What up, Stanton? Oh, look, he probably got his velvet do-rag on in the background while you're over there watching the show.
Those are comfortable to sleep on. Don't sleep on that. I have me a red one, red velvet one, and when my hair is laid down and I'm laying on my pillow, it's smooth. It's smooth. Don't sleep on it.
It's probably the same one Stanton has, the red velvet one.
Girl, yeah. I mean, when I first met, I'm like, what is that? What? That is, oh my gosh. So that'll be his thing. He can keep his little velvet do-rag and see if he still be seasick with all them waves you get from that. Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, this first segment of what do I call this? Action. What I tell you? What was the segment called? Forgot that fast.
What happened?
I'm trying to think of this segment. It's called
about that action.
Thank you.
I thought you froze or something. I was confused.
Trying to think of it for me. Now I'm trying to think of it in the meantime. But yeah, so this first segment of all the action, I'm here for it. I can't wait till we do this again next month, honey. Are you gonna be able to stay on, or you gotta leave right away? Coach, you gonna be able to stay on with us for a few minutes while we do other topics?
I got a minute.
Okay. Well, while you over here being fussy, not being very helpful, ma'am. I mean, just you gotta hear Coach Stringer's first segment here. I mean, what's the problem? Oh, you ready to talk about New Year's resolutions? Ooh. Oh, okay. You want to know what team needs to make a New Year's resolution? You're tired of seeing the whole same trashy teams and need to get it together? Oh, you don't want to hear about the Lakers all the time. They keep losing. They need to make a New Year's resolution. I know. Okay. Well, Jobo, you tell me, what team needs to make a New Year's resolution?
I was just gonna go with the Blues. I know we'll probably talk about them more in depth later, but I think it's you got to go with the Blues. I know they won last night in a shootout, but I think it's time to switch things up a little bit. The league, as you can see, is changing. It's fast. It's not as much as what Chief likes to do is hitting up against the boards and whatnot, being a heavy team. So they got to switch it up a little bit, and they're probably being forced to now with injuries to Ryan O'Reilly and Tarasenko. So that's my team. You know, I could have gone into like the Cardinals or something, but I think I talk bad about them enough on this show. So I'm going to go with the Blues this time.
Okay. All right. What about you, Coach Trigger? What team is making New Year's resolution?
I want to say the Lakers. I just, I'm a hater. I can't stand them right now.
What's your reasoning?
I just feel like it's a lot of egos on the Lakers. I can't stand it. Like, I just can't stand it. It's a lot of I've grown to respect LeBron James. I can get with LeBron, but everybody else in the Lakers just grinds my gears. Like, I can't stand watching Westbrook anymore. Like, Westbrook makes my butt itch.
What does that even mean?
It's just, I don't know. I think when he first came out, I really liked him. And now it's kind of like every time I look at him, it's just, I don't know, my butt itches. It's like, why are you playing? Like, I don't know. You just turn me off completely.
I think that has to go with the You know, like if someone goes to the Dodgers or the Yankees, they immediately have a face that I want to punch.
Yes.
And that might be kind of how it is, you know, with the Lakers. You know, you go to the big Lakers, all the medias talk about just the Lakers, and you just want to punch them. You know, they got a punchable face, or as you say, got itch your butt or something.
That's so funny. Good parallel, Joe. Because that's how I feel with the Yankees. And Cardinals were really good and competitive. It's like, wow, the Yankees always on, and they weren't even good anymore. It used to, man.
But it's like, yeah, I mean, like, I think Sidal made this point either the first or the last Super Show episode was, like if a Cardinals player or someone was doing what Judge did, you probably wouldn't hear about it as much, and so that's why I think a lot of people hate the bigger market teams. They just agitate them. Westbrook goes there, he probably acts a little more cocky, he's on the Lakers, he's big and bad now, and I just think that's what it is.
Honestly, Westbrook is opposite. Well, in his defense, he is from the LA area, so that's his hometown. But once he got to the Lakers, I don't know where the drop off happened, because he had a stop in Washington, and before Washington he was at the Rockets, and then here we are.
Houston for a little bit.
Yeah, so with him being in LA, his playing fell off, and I think he got more mentally. But as my big Lakers fan, so I hear about the Lakers all the time, and he said he want to stop watching them because the GM is just not doing a good job anymore. They were just 2 years ago they won the championship, y'all. That's what's crazy. You would think like they've sucked for years. They just won a championship 2 years ago. That's how bad it fell off, real bad. But it's just like Westbrook was never initially a point guard.
Yeah.
So when he came up and was doing good when he was with the Thunder, it was him, KD. Even when Harden was there before Harden left, they had it good and he was good. He wasn't even a real point guard with the Thunder, but he was so young, going, driving. That's what you do, especially you're younger. But he's older now, and his style of play should adapt to his age on top of his mental state. When you are a point guard, you know how to be the floor general, like a catcher on a baseball team or the quarterback on a football team. But he was never a true point guard, so he's doing stuff even crazier. I'm not understanding some of it when I see him play, and I don't think it's even. I mean, yeah, part of it's probably arrogance because he was Westbrook used to be an all-star. This is his hometown, and he made so much money that the Lakers don't want to bench him. At least last season, so it was like, what did it go wrong? But I mean, I knew his resolution for the Lakers overall, not just because of Westbrook. It's the front office personally.
What's the little point guard name now that got traded? It's not Patrick, is it?
Patrick Beverly's on the Lakers, and so is Schroeder's back.
I like Schroeder because he played for the Hawks. He played the Hawks a couple days. But Beverly, I can't do him either. He's so extra. I don't like males that are extra. That's what it is. I don't like extra males that do the most, because to me it's just like, why?
Yeah, I can agree with that. Yeah,
I think he does enough to be on somebody's roster, because sometimes eventually he's like, I'm gonna be expendable because I don't score a lot of points. Defensively, you don't need me. Even though Lakers did, because their defense sucked last year, and now they're better, but they're still not as good as they need to be. And so I think he just does what he needs to be needable to make a roster. That means real talk. Because what if he's not on their team? Does it make or break how the Lakers function this season? No. Last year, if he's on the team, would he make a break? No. So it's like, I gotta do something to be needable. I mean, he's hopped around so many teams in the last how many years. So if you still want to collect the check, you're gonna do something for somebody. Like, okay, put him on our roster. Somebody, his agent knows how to ask for his services from some team. He made a roster.
I see it on my screen. I wish they would go play on BT or something, because I'm tired.
Yeah, no, not you. Put him to BT. Please stop. Go Stringer.
He need to be on BT.
Oh my God. Don't put him down like that. Don't do it.
Well, baby boy playing afterwards.
Anyway. Well, that's all good. Well, we hope. Look, we'll see what happens at the end of the NBA regular season, Jobo, and the NHL season, regular season. We'll see if our teams are in the playoffs or not. Their New Year's resolution should be happening in the off season. We shall see.
What about you, Bunny? Who's your team?
Shoot, it can be a few. I mean, if you want to do the hometown team, or if you want to do an NFL team, so I really don't have one that needs to do it per se, but I could do one for basketball.
Okay.
And specifically NCAA basketball. 2 teams. You don't want me to talk about those 2 teams? Don't want me to put them out there like that? My 2 NCAA basketball teams is Smoooth basketball men's and Georgetown men's basketball. You don't want me talking about them, so the Georgetown basketball. I've been a fan of them forever because of my father, and of course he's a big time John Thompson fan. So I followed Georgetown basketball for forever. And I thought when they hired Patrick Ewing, they would be like, okay, finally turn the ship and being competitive like they used to be. That ain't happening. I feel like Patrick Ewing's job was on the line after this season because they're not even at a 500 record. So they need a New Year's resolution like fast. And the other one is SLU men's basketball. Again, we thought they were going to go dancing this year. They still may have hope, but it's not looking good. They need to get their, I don't know, they guard Yuri Collins is doing his job. He's actually improved this season. And he is a good floor general. Like I've seen his improved play from last season as a freshman to now. I know it's not the problem. It's not him. Let me say that. So I don't know what else is going on. I don't know if the coaching staff and Travis Ford have fallen off. They're not doing adjustments. I don't know. But they need to fix it soon, or I think Travis Ford may be in trouble too with this job. And I don't like when coaches lose jobs because, you know, when college, you're going to get different players every year without transfer portal because people, you know, graduate or whatever. So I just hope that both of those teams do New Year's resolution real fast. Okay, well, our producer said Travis Ford is an issue for SLU men's basketball. I thought they were improving. I thought this was going to be the year where they actually make it to the dance. They started off with a good record. Coach Spring, I don't know if you have a chance to hear about anything with SLU because you got your own world going on, but I don't know. I'm trying to follow the X's and O's and how they play, their defense, and I haven't fallen all the way. So I don't know what it could be, but I just hope, you know, if you get in your students interested in the SLU, I hope, you know, Travis Ford can do something better to excite them to come and not have a losing season.
You know, it's crazy. A lot of my kids don't even want to stay in St. Louis. They always want to get out of St. Louis. They want to render off. So I never really even talked to any of the male coaches in St. Louis unless they JUCO. I would say JUCO. Yeah, a lot of the JUCO coaches for my males. But other than that, I know nothing about SLU.
Interesting. And I know what people say that all the time, and I get it. You get away, especially if you're from a city, you want to move away for school too. But, you know, dollars, scholarships, sometimes you're like, hey, let me just bite this bullet. You still get to travel, so you get away from St. Louis, you have road games. I got to find the bright side of everything at this point.
That's true.
So you get to still see other cities and states, even if it's only for a few hours and they put you back on the bus and head back home. But you can stay home. What's a different arena? See how they set up in, see how rowdy their fans are, you know.
That's a good point. Good way to put it.
Try to find a good out of everything. So that's cool. So hopefully, again, we'll see what happens at the off season for these teams. And next up, speaking of teams, so the big headline, somebody liked her dinner. The big headline y'all heard is about DeMar Hamlin. And Jobo, even if you don't follow NFL, I don't know if you heard about this story because it happened on live TV when he collapsed. When it's a cardiac arrest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was giving Mia a bath whenever Brendan came in and told me about that, and it's scary, you know. It's just I hate seeing these kids, you know, because he's a kid. He's what, 24, I think they said. You know, just playing a game you love, and you know, and it happens. Like we seen this happen with Jay Boomweister a couple of years ago. He was just sitting on the bench, and the dude just collapsed. You know, but it's sad, and it's you get teary eyed. Like I was getting teary eyed watching it, and I can't imagine. You know, his mom was there in the stands watching it, and you know, I think it's Twitter, so I can't confirm everything, but I think his heart stopped 3 times, you know, like on the field and then even at the hospital. So last I seen, he's still critical, and it's just, you know, hope he fully recovers, and who knows if he's gonna even want to step on a field again if that happens. You know, I don't think anyone would blame him if he didn't, but it's sad. You know, you just want to. Right now, it doesn't matter what week it is in football, and you know you're gonna go to the playoffs or not. It's just you go out there, you just want to play. He didn't start the year up here, and he's, it's a brotherhood, and it was cool seeing Joe Burrows and Cincy and the whole city of Cincy and the Bengals players just come together for the Bills. And right now, the NFL holds, everyone's coming together for him. So hopefully he's gonna be all right.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that when I heard about it on the radio, I wasn't even at home yet when I heard about him collapsing. So when I got home and I saw the ESPN had the Monday Night Football game, and I heard them talking about it, and at the time I thought when they were talking about pausing the game and then suspending it, I was like, my God, I went straight to the worst. I'm like, I've never seen an NFL game be suspended. Because we see players get hurt all the time. We've seen them caught off on a stretcher in an ambulance before, at an NFL game. But to the extent I said he was hurt so bad, I'm like, oh my God, please don't tell me he's not alive anymore. I'm like, because I just never seen NFL stop a game altogether. So of course in the background, it's like, well, I've heard two different stories, but I'm gonna go with Joe Buck and Monday Night Football team, him and Troy Aikman, because they said they were communicating with the league people, and they said they were ready to resume the game. And then you see a release statement from the NFL exec saying, no, we didn't want to resume the game. We wanted to make sure he was okay, this and that. So I know it's conflicting stories, but Joe Buck is too credible. NFL, not so much. But then, as to suspend the game altogether, though, was big. And I'm glad they did that, because y'all know the NFL gets a lot of things wrong when it comes to player safety. But how it had the impact on the opposing team, the fans. I mean, I was sitting there, like I said, scared. I'm like, please don't tell me he's not alive. I mean, I was just couldn't believe it. Like, at 24, you say he's a kid, like his family. I was like, this goes past what you see on the football field. This is the human side. So we see people even on the ice hockey rink, or baseball field, soccer field, 2-3 hours, and then it's over. We're going about our day. They're going about their day. But they have lives too. And the fact that this man's whole heart stopped, he could have ended up, passing away. He's still fighting, but they said hopefully he's looking a little better. But I'm just glad they woke up everybody's eyes. These are humans on the field. We like the play of football. We like other sports. But life is more important than just a game. And for the NFL to say they're suspending it and not playing this week at all, thank you. And hopefully, whenever they resume it next week, that, the more still with us, and that they'll still do a moment of silence for him to respect that, all these men out there, everybody has other injuries too, but y'all all are still men, y'all are still people, and we just appreciate you for trying to entertain us every week. Sometimes I know we take it for granted. We got what do you call that? Fantasy leagues and stuff like that. We like, oh, somebody's hurt. Oh man. Now you see somebody's hurt is for a reason, and they don't need to be playing, because it could affect them the rest of their life, or let alone their livelihood. So just shouts out to the NFL finally for not resuming the game. But I just pray that everything works out for him and the organization. And in the meantime, because that game was a critical game for the playoff picture, the NFL playoffs, some parts of it is going to be a little delayed of who's going what. I don't know, Coach Tree, do you even follow a little bit of NFL, or do you have a team you follow?
I watched the Pack. I watched one game. It was so bad. It was over I can't remember what team it was, but I was getting off my flight from Atlanta, and I automatically went to Twitter to check my notifications, and I saw what was going on with this young man. And I went to the extreme worst. I'm like, oh my God, did somebody's leg fly off? I just for the stuff I was seeing on Twitter, I just thought it was like crazy. And then I watched the video, and I thought it was because he got tackled under his chin. But then it said the way he got hit in his chest. And I was shocked. Because my first thing was the helmet hit. I watched that movie with Will Smith, and they was talking about the brain and how the brain stopped functioning after get hit so many times. So I was just like, I see why a lot of parents of these young men be like, they're not letting their kids play football, man. It's crazy. But I try to keep up with it, but I don't like to read a lot of the commentation of what these reporters be saying. They be out of pocket. But I did see that, and I do send prayers up to that young man, because that's scary. And I love to see the brotherhood of everybody come together and praying. And you saw dudes, the strongest dudes look like, shedding tears for this young man. It was crazy, but it was a good impact. And I was happy that everybody came together for that one.
Yeah.
And I was like, seeing guys, grown men cry is like one of my biggest weaknesses, I don't know. And I will say, like Bonnie, you said yourself, like NFL, it's very rarely that they come through. But I don't know who it was, but saw a video of NFL Network. I think it was not going to a commercial when this guy wanted to pray on live on air. And I mean, I love God, I believe in God, and I try to, get his name and word out there as much as possible. But like a lot of people don't think that way, and especially with these big, big, big markets like NFL. So that's the one thing I'll say props to is, like they didn't try canceling that. And you've seen a lot of people out there, saying, we're praying for this guy. So that was really cool, and I'm happy that they didn't go to like a commercial break or anything like that.
Yeah, and I think it's gonna have people's eyes more wide open because of the magnitude. You mentioned Coach Stringer with how the NFL games are. I call them gladiators. Like you heard back in the Roman days and Julius Caesar's days when they used to go to the arenas and fight literally to the death. I mean, that's how I look at football, but you get a check out of it because you're putting your physical body and your brain on the line every time you suit up with a helmet, pads, and all that. We know the other sports are out there too, but nowhere near as much contact and can happen on each play like you do with NFL games. And I'm like, those men are gladiators that get a check. And their contracts aren't guaranteed unless you're certain people. So shout out to them for doing it every week. I mean, and that was just a game. Imagine all the practices. Right. I mean, for any sport, you do a lot of practice. You're supposed to practice hard and practice so your game is easier. And in the off season, you're still doing a lot of work on your body. But for it to be that young at 24 to going through this, and for what I've read, he didn't have any big prior medical issues. So when he comes out of this, prayerfully that he could speak on this and it just wake up more people's eyes. Like just don't always just dog them, especially you talk about big fans. They're human too. So like I said, NFL playoff picture will be affected until this game is played because the Bills were definitely. I had them. I think when we did our picks a few weeks ago, I thought I had them being representative in AFC, and I'm not saying that they won't, but it's just being delayed, which it should be for at least a week. It's just gonna change the playoff picture because some teams already played their games. This one didn't get played, so it's just gonna affect the season. So it will just be delayed maybe. What do we have? So as it stands right now on the AFC side. The Chiefs get the bye. They have the best record on the AFC, and then it'll be the Patriots at the Bills. And again, whenever the Bills play this game, because they were playing the Bengals, and you see how close they are 2 or 3 seed. That's why I said the playoff picture may change a little bit. But they're both going, and we'll see how they, especially with the Bills, mentally. Like, how they will be when they got to get back on the field to make up that game and then going through the playoffs. Because that's going to be on your mind heavily. Mm-hmm. And you're just thinking, any play could happen. Somebody else could fall out or somebody else could sit there and be injured and get permanent damage. We know it's a risk every time they're out there, but now that we actually saw it happen, that's going to be in a lot of their teammates and other players too, but definitely their team's mind. So we'll see how this affects them when they get back on the field again. We also have, which I told y'all with the Jaguars, that's the 4 seed. I said the Jaguars have gotten better with Trevor Lawrence there. I said people gonna sleep on them. So even though their record is not looking the best, it's right at 500. They have proven that they're ready for playoffs. They're probably not gonna win the first game, but that they're ready. Everybody can't get there. That's baby steps that you're progressing as a team and with your quarterback getting better. So
Niners.
Oh Lord, hey, Jobo, if she was on when what's his name, T-Bone and that dang on 49 sweater, baby.
I saw the sweater.
Hey, Mr. Rogers.
I was bugging up when Stan called it a house coat. I was done.
I said that's dope. I'm from San Francisco, so I'm always around for the Niners.
Oh, really? I think you're only in Atlanta. So I didn't know.
I was born in Cali. I moved to Atlanta. I was 9.
Oh, okay, I got you. Okay, you can be a 49ers fan. Nothing wrong with it. Just don't have that Bill Cosby sweater like T-Bone, please.
No, I'm not rocking that. That's gonna mess up my little swag, my little juice.
And on the NFC side, besides Coach Stringer's 49ers, of course, I mentioned Jalen Hurts last week. The Eagles will get the bye. They have their best record on that side. The Seahawks without Russell Wilson in the playoffs, I want to see how this transpires because I've known the Seahawks been in the playoffs only because of Russell Wilson. So let's see how this happens. The Vikings, they over the comeback king from a couple of weeks ago, right? They were down 33 points. Is that right, Smooth? And then boom, the whole what office was that fell apart? Who were the Vikings playing? I forgot. But
The
anyway,
last game,
yeah,
that game was horrible.
I forgot who they were playing. Well, anyway, we'll see. The Vikings are good. Actually, I didn't think they were going to be as good as they are. So shout out to them, and of course, Andy's whack Cowboys. If they're going to do it every year, first round exit. That should be their model, like the LA Clippers. First round, they're kings of first round exit. That's it, right there. Cowboys, that's them. Bucks, even with Brady barely squeezing in, you know he's a comeback king in the fourth quarter. Playoffs, he can pull it off too. So we shall see, guys. We shall see. But I can't
This
wait.
is when I start liking to watch football. You know, it gets exciting this time of year. So I'm excited. And that now, like, I don't know, Brett will have to bring it up one of these times. Bring up our predictions from before the season started.
Yeah,
But
that's what I wish I'd have written it down. But
I think I might have had Bengals and Bucks or Bills and Bucks, something like that. But I think I had TB12 in the Super Bowl again.
Niners.
They somehow not somehow. I'm not going to be Stanton. I don't hate the Niners. I don't get it with the quarterback situation because it's not like Jimmy G is the best, but now he's gone and they're like on their fourth QB right now. So I don't get it. But I guess quarterback's not that important then. I don't know.
Oh, bring Kaepernick back.
Huh?
Give him a chance. Kaepernick.
Oh, Kaepernick.
I'm all for Kaepernick.
Well, Kaepernick, I mean, I think teams were desperate. They still didn't want to touch him. You know, I still think he's unofficially blackballed. Even though he had that settlement with the NFL, they still have him blackballed.
Right.
So there's a lot of crappy quarterbacks out there, and I'm like, y'all gonna keep them over taking him over his stance, but whatever.
Yeah, Miami has 3 quarterbacks. They always trash. Oh my God. They put their third string quarterback in the game, and he struggled. You could tell he wasn't getting no practice reps. He struggled the whole game. It was horrible.
Look, but I wouldn't even put that on that quarterback. That's on the quarterback's coach and the coach. I'm sorry. Because I know you rarely use a third string, but they need to be having enough reps or something. Once you hit to your second string, that third string need to be right up there with him. Man. I'm just saying. But well, hey, I'm not an NFL coach. What do I know, right?
I'm just like, but I felt like he rose to the occasion, but he didn't get enough reps. You can tell he didn't have any chemistry with the players. He's throwing a ball, and the guys already running his route. It was hard to watch. But I'm like, you know, you don't never think these people gonna play, and then they do play, and they're not
right. And when you're not prepared, So Joe Bo, you see this is one of my Christmas presents.
I was gonna ask about that. I like it.
I love it too. So we're talking about the Cardinals on one side, the Blues on the other. So let's talk about St. Louis Blues that has you having the blues because they're losing all their players through injury.
Before we do, Coach, do you gotta get out of here?
I do gotta skedaddle, but like my word skedaddle.
Skedaddle. Skedaddle and balls to the face and itchy butts.
Got words to say.
This is gonna be one hell of a recap video. I can't wait.
I can't wait for it. All I know is balls in the face. Oh.
Yes, I will send you guys the link on Sunday as well.
Okay.
So you guys can check it out and see some insightful things. But I have to go recruit tonight, so yeah. This stuff.
I'm here for it. Thank you for giving us your time. Appreciate it. Can't wait for next month about that action. We're going to keep that rolling, okay?
For sure. I will see you guys soon then.
All right. Take care.
All righty.
All right, bye-bye. Oh, and you know what? While we segueing for just the two of us, Joe Bo, let's get our promos in. Because, we're on a platform sports talk show, but do people know how to tune in every week?
Well, usually they should by now, but all right, there we go. So we're on Hot 365 Radio, and now you can find that on Twitch as well, Twitch TV. So yeah, that's that. You got the Platform Sports Talk Show, Ladies Night, Man Cave on there, and I should do Bunny's Always Hot, Hot, Hot. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter. If you want to send us, like T-Bone always says, if you want to reach out to us, email. Go ahead. There's our email right there, platformsportstalkshow@gmail.com. Find us on Instagram, and then obviously one of our main platforms is on YouTube. Platform Sports Talk Show there as well. You gotta click, you gotta like it and then click on the bell, because anytime you go live, you will be notified.
Look
But
at
we-
go. Oh, what? Oh man, honey.
oh man, honey. All right.
Awesome. Look at you. Boy, this girl's a natural, I tell you.
Just gotta give you the little cheat sheet on the screen first, even though I know it, but I get all like deer in the headlights. So
Oh, I understand. I do too.
yeah.
Great
Okay.
job, honey. I'm here for it.
Thanks.
Yeah. We're
So
gonna
we
have
want.
the Blues fill you in his role because a certain broadcaster is not doing it right now. Maybe you can fill it in for him. I'm just saying.
I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to be sad. And we actually haven't talked about that on the show. At least I don't think we have we?
No, I think just when we've been chatting, I think that's it. Hey, while
Yeah.
we're talking about the Blues, you can, because you say he does part-time work for them. Just segue all about Blues, including that,
Yeah, I mean, I guess we could just mention it. He does part-time, like you said, or did part-time with the Blues. But Dan McLaughlin, he's no longer, you're not going to be hearing or seeing his face on Bally Sports anymore, which is very sad. Guess we don't have to get super into it, but just hopefully he gets better. You don't, it's whatever, you just want him to feel get better. Hopefully his family's there to help him, friends and family, and maybe later on down the road we'll see him. But you understand, Bally, the Cardinals, and everyone letting him go. That's just how it's got to be. But I was telling my mom this on Sunday. You had Jack Buck, for some of the older crowd, and now like Danny Mac, that was my voice of the Cardinals.
I was about to say for me too. Once I became a working adult, Danny Mac or Dan McLaughlin, when he first came on the scene, was known, and I was like, wow, it's kind of young to be doing that, but they wouldn't give opportunity if they didn't see the good that he could do, and he did a very, very good job. So, synonymous, that voice. Because look, I'm in Schnook shopping, and what do I hear on the intercom?
Danny Mac.
Yeah, I'm like, that's him. Like, I'm so used to hearing him on the Cardinals broadcast, whether it's TV, a little bit of radio. So, he did a very good job, and that's a local talent, homegrown,
One of my favorite days of every single year is the first spring training game, hearing him say, like, it's time for St. Louis Cardinals baseball. And so now, we'll see what happens. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be BT? Brad Thompson, we had him as a guest on the show before. He's no longer going to be full-time at 101, so maybe you'll hear him do more games than usual. Maybe Fred could put the name in the chat. I don't remember the name. Seattle broadcaster that I mentioned before in our little group chat.
How did you hear about that Seattle broadcaster? Like, how have you heard their games?
How do you hear Seattle's games?
You know that name? Like, you've heard him call some baseball games before?
Well, just because we have MLB at that app, so we watch. They're on the West Coast, so we'll just watch. Those games all the time at night, falling asleep to that. But he's got a nice voice, and I think he is somewhat local too. Like, I think he did Grizzly games, if I'm not mistaken. So I can see, I can hear it, I can picture it in my head, him doing Cardinals baseball. So I won't be Danny Mac, but sometimes this stuff changes, and I think it'll be worth it. It's just gonna be really weird. No Yachty, and now no Danny Mac.
Yeah, but everything happens for a reason, but also give people another opportunity who didn't have it before. So
it's Aaron Goldsmith, that's his name. So if you have time, look it up. I think that was the game that the Mariners clinched to go to the playoffs this year. He had a nice call. It was really cool. Gave me chill bumps. So we'll see if maybe he's the one that comes here and takes over that job. But we can talk about the Blues now if we have to.
Yeah, we I mean,
I'm
I
messing
still
with
box
you.
them. I still represent them. I know they give us the blues, but don't forget, this isn't all their fault. I mean, injuries happen, but this many at one time, how do we rebound? You tell me. That
Um,
side said it alone. Lord have mercy.
yeah, I mean, but it's weird is if you've been like watching the games, you got guys like Levo scoring and Akari or Achari, I can't really say his last name, he's been coming up big for us. And Jake Neighbors is up now. He's went down a couple times because they wanted him to have more ice time. But now that two of your top guys are gone, he's definitely going to get the ice time. So he's been up. Um, just got to somehow stay afloat until they come back. But it just, Tarasenko, I don't think he broke his hand, but it's a hand injury. His timeline's like 4 months, not 4 months, 4 weeks. And then for O'Reilly, he broke his foot blocking a shot, and it's 6 weeks before he gets reevaluated. So those are two big guys, and it's kind of sad because like we're only 5 points out of third place. There's like 3 teams ahead of us, but we're like 5 points out of third place. But National Riders and Blues Riders, as soon as this news came out, they were all just like, well, there goes our trade bait. So I don't know if just everyone, including Blues Riders, gave up on the Blues, even making the playoffs and at least being there for the first round, or what, or if we're just sitting there thinking we're going to let's tank and try to get the first round draft pick or something. I don't know, but I thought that was very odd whenever that happened.
Let me actually, you talking about trade bait. When is the trade deadline for NHL?
I think it's I need to look it up. I feel like it's February or March. Let me just double check real quick. But I mean, like, I just think it's kind of crazy that the Blues Riders are even saying, "Oh, well, there you go. There goes our chances for trades." But it's March 3rd. So
Now, in that defense, some of there as far as a trade, I asked you all about this last season. So back in what 2021, so 2020, 2021 season was when Tarasenko wanted to get traded, right? He wanted demanded a trade, and they were trying to find somebody, and he didn't get traded. Next season, he's still on our roster. It's actually looking good, 2021, 2022 season. So here we are, 2022, 23 season, he's injured, but he was doing good or decent up to this point. Or are we really trying to use him for some trade though? Because we had 2 years ago to get rid of him. We did last season. So because I asked y'all this, I'm like, if he was unhappy, they were trying, but then it didn't work out. Why is he still on the roster a whole nother season? Now another season.
probably just didn't have the exact package that they wanted to get for him. I mean, like, I think it's like 2 years now that it's been rumored of him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if that's the case, how bad? You say a package? You could have still gotten one player for him. You could have gotten a minor league pick at this point. Like, how bad were they trying to get rid of him? Like we're saying for trade bait, I'm like, it would have. I'm new to NHL as far as the GM stuff. Now, baseball, I got that. Basketball, definitely got it. So this wouldn't happen like that in basketball. So help me out here with this. If he was,
he does have teams that he can agree to get traded to, though. So maybe that was part of it as well.
2 seasons later, I mean, if you're trying to do a package, why just, like I said, do it individual? If there was that much of a headache, he didn't like it. Like I said, he progressed. The next season looked better. You didn't hear about that trade talk or want to get released or anything. And then you didn't hear about, okay, we're gonna put him with another person. We didn't hear about, hey, let's get demote him or like the AHL. You didn't hear none of that. So it was like, was he really that bad?
I don't think it was bad. It's just he wanted out.
I'm gonna say bad as far as that bad where you could not get any takers on him to trade him. That's what I'm talking about. Is it that bad where nobody had a package? Like I didn't say a package. You could do a 1-for-1.
Yeah, I mean, hockey's always different though. It comes with draft picks and
it's okay.
Draft picks and the cap and everything, and Tank's making a little bit of money, so that's probably what it is. Last year he had a great year. He was kind of slow to start this year, but the whole team was. So
Right.
So we'll see.
So was it the 8-game losing streak? How bad is 8 or 10 games? How bad did we get?
It was 8, but this is something I said last night, is a lot lately the Blues have been going into overtime and even going into shootouts.
Mm-hmm.
If they would have done that just 2 times or 3 times in our 8-game losing streak, we would be thinking a lot differently about this team right now. But it's the fact that they were just 8 straight losses. Like, we didn't even get points out of them, you know? It's like I said, right now we're 5 points out of 3rd place. You know, we could be right there. You know? So
We still will be, because I know you can only control what your team does and not what others. But other people, even the better teams, just has one slip up and we're gonna slip right in. I told y'all, don't give up on my Blues. I didn't see these injuries coming, but the resiliency, and granted, we O'Reilly is needed. We don't, I mean, everybody's going we need, but they're saying this is like the game last night. How do you pronounce his name? Saad, Saad,
right inside.
Saad. That type of play, that hunger, that, hey, I'm getting it all in. I don't care if I have to slide from one side of the rink to the other. I don't care if my arm falls through the goalpost. I'm going to get us some goals. I'm going to do that. If other players can do that, I mean, granted, it's not going to work every time with better defensive teams, but you can get a couple more wins out of that. You can get, I'm just saying, I'm not giving up on them because the pieces are there. Again, it's not going to be against the top teams, but we still got to beat the lower teams because we still need these points so we can get a good, decent season for the playoffs. So until these better players come back, if our defense holds true, Bennington is still there. So, you know, sometimes it's a hit and miss with him, but in general, we can coast with him, and we just need some more energized players just to step up. This is why you have, how many is it? 4 lines, right? That
Yeah.
the Blues use. We don't just have 3 lines. It's 4 for a reason. Everybody has a role to play. People's minutes should be increasing with these people injured. Why you get these extra minutes? Show up and show out. I mean, you're getting paid to do it, even if it's not the big bucks. You're on a roster for a reason. Make the chance while you can. You may end up helping yourself out for off season and go to another team and ask for more money because you showed up the time when you had the spotlight. So hey.
Yeah, I think a thing that makes it seem worse is last year we had like 8 guys with 20 goals, and now those guys aren't doing it this year. You know, like Barbashev and Colton Parayko have probably been our worst 2 players this whole year, and they're better than that. But I don't know, you know, it just sucks that we're having a handful of people have down years from compared to last year. But it's funny because someone at the beginning of the year, a writer, said that they don't think the Blues are going to make the playoffs. And I was kind of like, I don't think this team's amazing and is going to win a cup, but I think they'll definitely make the playoffs. And now I'm sitting here and I'm like, what did this guy know? Because right now it doesn't look good, but I don't think we're as bad as on paper. We're a good team. So that's why it tells me it's a chemistry thing. I think we've mentioned that before on the show. I think it's a chemistry thing, and
we had that 8-game losing streak. Well, at the time we probably only had 5. So it just got worse. But I'm saying, look, January 2019. Just remember how bad it was. I know you're gonna say it's different group of people, but we still have the same coach. You know what the coach can get out of people. He knows what he has. So
I don't think Berube was calling out guys though individually in 2019 and post game shows and Army saying stuff behind the doors.
I mean, straight up, when you sick of seeing crap show up on the rink and you know more can be done, we can take this outside of sports. If you have a job and you have a team of people, everybody has their role. And you've seen people do phenomenal job. You know, you have end of the month, you have numbers to show how this person's production or whatever. And then the next month it's going down it. And you'd be like, you know, let me talk to you. I know what you can do. I've seen it. So what's going on? And the person can tell you whatever. And the next month, if you gotta say, look, if you don't do this, I see why he has to do this, because after a while you're like, I know what you can do, you're not doing it. So yeah, I'm gonna call you out. You can be mad at me if the organization, Berube has that mindset to me. If the organization gets rid of me, oh well, I can find another job. I'm trying to help y'all out. I got mine. We got a cup already. He proved that the worst of the worst of a team he had also was the best of the best. I mean, how else can you have a horrible losing streak and win a Stanley Cup in the same season? He proved what he can do with what he's got. And so at that point, I mean, this is a different group, but some of the same ones. I'm gonna pull this out of y'all. If this don't work, then you just don't want to do what you're supposed to be doing. You just don't want to. I mean, he can't be out there skating for the guys. He can't sit there and be checking them. He can't sit there and be like, hey, make sure you play your zone right. He can't say, hey, stop the stupid penalty. He can only do so much. So he has to put it on them, call them out, because he said they're playing like and he know they're better than that.
Yeah, well, that's why he's like you said, he's got his hardware. He's won a cup, but he's one of the reasons why I said New Year's resolution, because the game is changing. The game is it's in Cairo now, but it's the whole team. They're fast, and they're like they say on the game, they got the silky smooth mitts. Like that's just the game now. That's how it is, So and Chief doesn't like playing that way. And there was talks before Cairo got extended about how they weren't getting along. So I don't know, but I just he's stuck in the old school hockey ways right now, and I think he needs to lighten up a little bit on that, because that's not the type of team that he has.
So what about, you said the same thing when Tony La Russa was asked to come back to get the White Sox a couple years ago. He old school. And the White Sox have some very young players. And they're like, we're going to go old school. Even Dusty Baker, he's old school. And he's coached different teams with these different ways of baseball, especially analytics. I mean, talent is going to be talent. With how you don't like the locker room stuff, some of the stuff may, could be, you can brush past some, you can't. But I mean, it's still old school. Sometimes not a bad thing when you have a new way of system, a new way of play. Because some stuff you just don't reinvent the wheel with certain things in your sport.
And real quick, let's bring in Coach Will. She's on via phone.
Coach Willis, Clayton High School women basketball coach. She is ready.
Yep.
All right, Coach Willis, we're ready for you, honey. One of our regulars for ladies' night. Hey, Coach Willis.
Maybe.
Testing 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1.
Hello.
It's probably because she got the high heel boots on the sidelines while she couldn't hear it. Hi, Coach Willis. Welcome. Happy New Year.
Hello. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure. I'm leaving Clayton, so I'm in route. How's it going? Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Wait, do you wear the boots on the practice? The practice, or only on the games?
Oh, I can't wear boots during practice.
Hey,
that'll make it hard for me to move. No, I come in and use. I sometimes jump in there when I need to, but no, the boots only come out during like game time. So, yeah, I actually have a pair of boots on right now as we speak.
Okay, well, give us a quick a snapshot. How was the season going so far as Clayton High School women's basketball coach?
So we're actually sitting 6-6 right now. We took a tough loss today. We started out just kind of, just like I feel like any at the beginning of the season, regardless if you've had players that's been playing together for 1 or 2 years, you still kind of have to make the adjustments because the improvement some of the players have had, and they haven't played together in quite a few months, like 7 or 8 months. So just kind of getting back into that routine, just gelling and playing as a team. So we kind of went through some spurts at the beginning, and then I want to say probably by the 5th game we started to figure it out, understanding team basketball. You can't win playing 1 versus 5. You got to be able to, run the offense. We've been kind of focusing on positive possessions on both ends. So like defense getting stops, offense, whether we make or miss a shot, we still want to make sure we run something that gives us an opportunity to score the basketball. So after about the 5th game, we started to kind of figure it out a little bit. And just at the holiday tournament at MICDS, we got 3rd place. So that was kind of a really big deal for the program and just, for our players. And, just wanting to continue to capitalize that, especially as we enter the second half of the season. So this is about the time when everybody plays their best basketball.
Okay. Well, congratulations, third place. I know everybody, you went first, but we'll take third place. So good job, ladies. And Coach Willis, we're just at the midway point of the season. Is that correct?
Yeah, we're entering the second half of the season, so definitely we'll be getting into more of the conference play. Last season we won conference. We were in the what they call the green pool, and this year we bumped up. I think it's the red pool. It's so different, compared to like when I was in high school. There's a lot of different, conferences how they do it now, but we bumped up a conference. So we're 1-0 in conference. Purdue, as you guys know, is our rival. And we weren't in the same conference last year, but we still played them. But we had our out game in December, right before the players went on winter break, and we beat them. So we're 1-0 in conference. We do have, the potential to win conference again, but I'm just like whatever team shows up, we'll see. Of course, I want the good team to show up, but there's good days and bad days, right? Like, I understand my kids are human, so there's that. Like today would be a perfect example. We just didn't play our best game. It happened. So back to it. Back to the drawing board tomorrow. So that's kind of like where the season's going. Ups and downs for sure, but I just take it one day at a time, one game at a time.
And again, what conference is Clayton High School a part of?
I think it's I believe it's the red pool. I know the red and yellow pool. I want to say the yellow pool is the highest pool, and then red is like the second highest. I want to say we're in the red pool. Again, like when I was playing in high school, you had like the suburban west, the suburban south, the suburban north, and now it's like green pool, blue pool, and you can. I think it's something where like every 2 years you can decide whether if you want to move your team up a conference or you want to move down. So I think it also has to kind of do with this even level like competition. So I think that's kind of how to do it. I feel like I think that's the other way that college districts now. Like there's a point system. Like it's so much stuff that's changed since I played in high school. So I feel like I'm still learning the new way of just sports here in the state of Missouri.
Of conferences. Okay. I thought they had it. Even if you're talking about the pools, I thought they still had the conference. But all right, we'll learn something new every day. So, Coach Willis, I'll tell you where we are. We have been talking about different topics. And if you want, you can chime in. Joe just went over the St. Louis Blues. I don't know if you know, our team has had some significant injuries to some very significant players for us. Joe, run them off, the people that are injured on our the hockey team right now.
Well, the most recent ones are Ryan O'Reilly, our captain, and Vladimir Tarasenko. And then a couple weeks ago, Torrey Krug's out indefinitely. So, yeah, those are 3 big guys that are on the team right now. So, it's going to be tough to try to fill those skates.
But I told her never fear. I still got faith in our Blues. So, all I say is we shall see. But I will segue.
I still want to make a Blues game.
That's on your New Year's resolution list for 2023.
I mean, for me, it's crazy. Like my cousin asked me, like, what is my word for 2023? My go-to word has always been optimistic. And 2023, I just want to enjoy life. You know what I'm saying? Like do things that I haven't done before, and just kind of live in the moment. So yeah, going to a Blues game would be one of those things where I just live in the moment and try something. Never been to a Blues game, and I lived in St. Louis pretty much my entire life.
Okay, Jobo, you gonna make her help her make that happen, right?
I mean, we gotta all get together somehow because Coach Stringer hasn't been to one either, I don't think. So it's gotta happen.
And Coach Trigger's
And,
defense.
and, and Joe, I would say this. Yes, I do have, some Blues gear. So, I have not been to a game, but I do have some Blues gear. I actually, what's crazy is, so my dad, I feel like every time I go to my parents' house, I'm taking something, right? My dad had this custom-made Blues jersey. It's vintage. I'll have to take a picture of it and send it to you guys. But it has our last name on it, which is perfect. So I have some gear. That'll be one. That'll be something I'll wear. But yeah, we gotta make that happen. Get Coach Stringer and go. We just need to set a date and just do it.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely be fun. Especially, I don't know, tickets are usually expensive, but with how shaky the team is, you might be able to find some cheap tickets on StubHub or something.
We're gonna say.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. Well, Coach, a lot has been going on. We already touched on a few topics, but we haven't touched on NBA. And so let's specifically talk about the news from Monday. So everybody's talking about Hamlin, and that's the player that got injured in the NFL game for the Buffalo Bills. The other big news from that night was Mr. 71, Donovan Mitchell. Did you hear about that? He pulled almost a Kobe on us with 71 points.
Holy smokes. Monday was definitely for the folks. Today was the first day our students returned back from winter break, and I did have a student. I teach elementary, so those kids are always they're very curious. So one of my students goes, "Ms. Willis, did you see what happened Monday with the football game?" And just explain it. I'm like, yeah, it was scary stuff. Definitely scary of what happened. Big prayers. Hope that he's okay. I get ESPN alerts on my phone all the time, and they were saying that he was making progress. But I'm glad that they stopped the game. Actually postpone it, and I think they just cancel it moving forward. They're not even going to reschedule it, but the health of athletes in general, regardless if it's physical, mentally, emotional, all that matters. So I really hope that he's okay. 'Cause that's some scary stuff. Shout out to the athletic trainers. Just administering CPR. I am certified in CPR. It's probably one of my golden traits about me. I'm very happy that I know how to perform CPR, and that's kind of that's basically what saved his life. That they performed CPR and got his heartbeat. Get back. So, yeah, definitely scary stuff.
Well, I need to take a course from you then, because I don't know anything about CPR. I know what it does, but I'm not certified. But it's always good to have your back pocket. So yeah.
Even if when I was a middle school teacher, even the other thing too that we talk about, you can people think they freak out oh my God, rescue breath, right? You're afraid to go mouth to mouth. You can still give the hands only CPR. It's better than not giving any CPR, right? That's something that I taught, when I was at Ladue Middle for 5 years. I taught 8th grade health, and one of our units was, teaching our kids how to perform hands-only CPR. And it's best to perform, hands-only than not, giving somebody CPR. So it is, I think it's definitely a nice skill to learn. I'm certified. I'm not a certified teacher, so maybe that's something I can work on, next, so I can teach people. That's actually a good idea. Don't give me no more jobs, but
don't add
it's
that.
kind of cool if I got certified to teach, people how to do CPR. So yeah, I ain't got enough jobs. I don't need a whole lot, but it will be definitely something that I will actually enjoy.
Okay. Well, we don't mind adding an extra hat or two to your wardrobe to go with your boots. So let me ask you this. On Monday night also, Donovan Mitchell from the Cleveland Cavaliers. It's still weird saying that because he's been with the Jazz for all those years. Did almost a Kobe Bryant move and scored 71 points. I don't know if you heard about that because you're so busy, but shout out to him for that. Did you get a glimpse of him getting 71 points?
I did not watch the highlights, but I did read an article about it, that he had a big game and scored 71 points. I mean, I feel like in any game of basketball, if you can score that many points, that's hard to do. I mean, my career high was 32 points. I thought that was a lot of points, but 71 points. And Donovan Mitchell, like, he's a pretty good basketball player. Like, I've watched a couple of games that he played in, and he's a good ball player. I mean, I just feel like at that level in general, like, it's a hard level to play at. So to be able to score 71 points, I mean, that's tough.
Yeah, that means you got that hot hand so hot water can't cool you off, and the opposing team, whoever's assignment to defend you, they got an F+ on that assignment.
Right.
It works both ways. So, and
well,
I know
I don't always like. I'm not trying to dog the NBA, but like I watch it sometimes. It's not like my go-to. I'm really into like. I enjoy watching college basketball, and I've caught a couple games. Again, like I'm in season, so I feel like I watch high school basketball all the time. But like, I don't know. There are times where, like, again, I'm not trying to dog the NBA, but like I feel like there are times where they don't play defense. It's an offensive game, So, but yeah, like you said, give them an F- for the defense. Yeah, I'm really big on like college basketball. I just like the excitement and the atmosphere, but nothing against the NBA. I mean, those guys they get paid. That's their job. So.
Well, the NBA wants to make more money, hence why you have to make it more offensive driven, less defensive driven. Hence why they do the rules change with it's like that's a whole nother hole we can get down. Yeah. But I miss.
So speaking of basketball.
Go ahead.
Also, did you see something about they're wanting to invite more college teams to March Madness?
I saw that article a few months ago.
It came across like I guess they were talking about it, but it didn't really make headlines. But they want to like change it to like 90 teams. That's a lot.
It's just money. You know it's about money. It's not about what you're gonna see. It's money.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. Look, I play the bracket sometimes. I ain't trying to see 90 teams. Okay?
But they're probably not gonna broadcast some of those games like they do now. They'll when March Madness starts, they do the play-in with the 68th seeded team, like 67, those 4 playing games. They'll probably have to do it like that, and those don't even get that much TV time, if any. But you still make money because for the people that are there to watch it in person, the NCAA still gets that ticket revenue money. But no, I don't want to see that either. I think it's fine how it is. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But it's a no-go for me. Leave it as it is. Because also it waters down the tournament to me. You'd be like, oh, there's many more games you got to play to show that you can beat up to the end. Not necessarily. Because I don't know if you know this, Coach Willis.
Yeah. No.
Go ahead.
No, what were you saying?
I was saying, I said it would water down the tournament, meaning having all those extra teams, it's just not going to have the same to me. Because some people will look at it. Well, if you're playing more teams and you end up winning every game you play, then you're the best of the best. And I'm like, not necessarily. It doesn't have the same weight when you have all these other extra teams in there to me. But some people don't know the NIT National Invitation Tournament. That used to be the creme de la creme for college hoops before NCAA March Madness. And yeah, and I don't want that. It may come back to that. You get all those teams in there. You may have another tournament to come out and be the creme de la creme. So they don't need to add any more teams if they still want to keep the quality there. I don't, whatever. Nobody asked my opinion. So
no, I like, like you said, I watch the NIT too. that's something else. Like, you don't want to sleep on it. Those teams that play in the NIT, again, like, it's invitational, and those are the teams that were like on the bubble of the cusp of making the NCAA tournament. Some really good teams, some really good teams in that NIT tournament that just barely made the cut. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, regarding Mr. Donovan making that 71 points, it also proves the Cleveland Cavaliers. They are a team to watch out for out of the Eastern Conference, and we can see the standings right now. So out of the Eastern Conference, of course, our own St. Louis's own Jason Tatum and his Boston Celtics are number one. They're playing like they're number one. The surprising thing was the number two with Brooklyn Nets. After the whole what's his name, Steve Nash getting fired, and then you had an issue from last season when Harden leaving. Everybody just thought they went to the wayside. And word on the street, KD had to get into some people's ears and faces, and they have straightened up that ship. And shout out to our producer, Smooth's twin, head coach Jacques Vaughn. Definitely do a good job with that squad. So I was surprised that they got up to that 2 seed that fast, because I thought their season was going to be in the tailspin. Of course, we know about the Bucks, which I know they're trying to go back to the championship. I don't know if they're going to get there. Of course, they need Middleton to be healthy. But see, number 4, the Cavaliers. I can definitely see them giving, if you just do it 8 teams, not even with the playing term, if you just do the top 8 teams, if Cleveland's number 4 and 76 is number 5, I don't see Cleveland be able to beat the 76ers in 7 games, but I believe it or not, I can see Cleveland beating the Bucks. I know it may be weird, but I really can. Lieutenant guard having the post, I can see them pulling off against the Bucks, but not against the 76ers. But anyway, and around out, we got the Pacers in 6th place, Heat 7, and the Knicks are in 8th. So 9 and 10 seed are the Hawks and the Wizards, which is funny to be a play-in, and you're not even at 500 yet. And by the time the season ends, the Hawks and the Wizards still probably won't be at 500. So, so as it goes to show you again, on Eastern Conference side of the NBA is still not as strong like I would want it to be, but they're getting better. We'll just say that. On the Western side, of course, good old MVP Jokic's team, the Nuggets, are number 1. And my team I like to watch because of their all-star Ja Morant, they're number 2. Pelicans, now that's a surprising one here. The Pelicans are in a 3 seed. If they go to the playoffs, they're not gonna make it out the first round. They're not built for it, but I still see them, being able to handle being in 3 for the rest of the season. Mavs, Doncic, Luka is doing his thing. They still need some more support. So that trade deadline's in February. For them to be a good run again in the playoffs like they were last year, they need to get some more support role players. Kings, I'm surprised at the 5 seed because it took a while to get together. But, they had the head coach of Mike Brown, who used to be on the Warriors staff. So he definitely has turned that ship around for them because they haven't had a decent season and maybe even a playoff picture in a while. The Clippers, I don't even want to talk about them. They're so fun. They're like the Cowboys to me. They set people up for failure every season thinking they're going to be doing something. Rounded out the 7th is the Trailblazers, 8th, the Suns. And I thought the Suns would have a better record, but I know we had some injuries here and there. So the 9th and 10th seed. The Warriors, again, they're dealing with injuries with what's the assassin? Babyface assassin. Steph Curry being injured. So he'll get healthy enough for them to make the playoffs. And the 10th with the Jazz, again, it felt weird saying Donovan Mitchell's not on there anymore. I don't see them being too much of a splash. If they can do the play-in, they won't get out the first round. So rest of the seeds, the Timberwolves, they're still a joke. It always will be a joke. I don't understand why the ownership won't try to do better, especially with Carl Anthony there. I see him leaving when his contract's up. And Thunder, we already know they're not going to do too much. The Lakers, they should be ashamed of themselves, but that's on the front office. Coach Stringer and I talked about them earlier. It's sad, sad day, but maybe next season they'll turn around. They probably going to may end up taking. And whoever think you would say that with a LeBron on your team, but it is what it is. Spurs, I can't believe that bad. And the Rockets, no surprise. There you have it with the NBA. So yeah. Do you even have any favorite NBA players or teams, Coach Willis?
I mean, definitely, support, our guys from, the St. Louis area. Like, of course, I enjoy like watching Jason Tatum. I did get to go. It's crazy. I went to my first NBA game ever during my last spring break, and I got to see Milwaukee and Chicago play, and it was a great experience. But like just to see them in person versus like watching them on TV, it's like whoa. I'm really big into like I was a point guard, so I like watching like true point guards. Chris Paul to me, he's like one of the true point guards. I like Devin Booker, Trae Young. I really enjoyed watching Trae Young last year. Like man, it's something about like he had such a great season last year, and I really enjoyed watching him. So, again, like the NBA, it's like it's different now. So, and I feel like there are times where I'm like I'm so behind. It's like one of my favorite basketball players was Kobe Bryant. So, definitely watched more of it when he was in the league.
Okay, since you're a big Trae Young fan, you get offended when the opposing fans talk about his ball spot. I'm just curious.
I don't pay attention to that stuff. I'm not here, watching like, how that hair looks. I mean, they out there hoping. I don't care if they have money in the world to get that fixed. Like, I'm not watching that.
But people always got to say something to get to the skin or get on the people's the stars' nerves when they're on the opposing team's arena. But I never paid attention to it. When I heard that last season, watch the playoffs, I'm like, what are they saying? I didn't care. Like, I want to see the action on the court. Now, of course, your appearance, they're guys. Of course, they're not going to be looking like us ladies do. Because shout out to the NBA players. Some of them are really, really diva on the court. And I love it. But they're guys. But I just thought that was so funny. So that's all. Anyway, since you're a guard person, when Coach Strick and I were talking about the Lakers earlier, talking about Russell Westbrook, and what I was telling my husband, big Lakers fan, but he was like, Russell Westbrook was truly not a point guard. When he started with the Thunder, they put him in that role. And of course, when you're young, fresh legs, you're going to drive. But over time, you need to get into the general floor leader role. And he never really did that. That's not his true calling. He's more of a number two and a number one guard, shooting guard. But, but yeah, okay. Well, I'm glad that I know some of your favorite players. So last but not least, we're wrapping up our NBA segment. We'll touch on one baseball topic because it's been a few Brinks trucks that were backing up in some of these MLB players' driveways in the off season. I mean, I missed out. I didn't buy stock in Brinks, but I should have because they was moving a lot of money. And so last but not least, this is not a Brinks truck. It is Brinks truck related, but it's also, I've never seen this happen before. But maybe Jobo knows something I don't. With Carlos Correa. What's his position? Shortstop? Shortstop. So the Giants, right? Good old San Fran was like, hey, we're going to pay you a lot of money. Brinks truck waiting on your driveway. They're ready to open up the hatch, swimming all that money. Just need you to pass the physical. We're good to go. Seems like everyday routine when teams sign a player, pass a physical. I don't even know when did it officially fall off, Jobo, right when he was about to sign, or
no? So with the Giants part, he was literally in San Francisco with his family in a hotel, and they like literally about to go in for the press conference, and they canceled it because of his physical or whatever. And then Boris, his agent, he was trying to work with them to try to get things figured out, but the Giants weren't talking back, and so the Mets swooped in, Steve Cohen. And then I think it was on Christmas Eve, I think. The whole report about they don't know what to do because of his physical. So I don't know. He himself posted a picture of him and his son yesterday on Instagram, and his son was wearing a shirt saying "I Heart New York," and his glove had orange on it. So probably still gonna happen. We'll just see what the contract looks like. I can't remember exactly what it was. It was like 11 years, 300 something, I believe, at the time. But so I mean, it's a Scott Boras client. He's gonna get paid, you know. So I've never seen anything like this. I know me and Fred were going back and forth in the chat, and I don't know. I think it's kind of unprofessional how it went down. I know these guys are millionaires and whatever, but like he had his mom and dad and his in-laws there in San Francisco ready to sign, and they just canceled it right then and there. Like you guys couldn't do it before they got to San Francisco, and then the whole Mets thing, and I don't know. Steve Cohen spent a lot of money and pretty much said out loud that Correa's the guy that they need to go overboard. Then you know, the reports of this contract, and now you're going to do the whole physical thing, just like this happened when he was 19, and every single team got these reports on him as soon as he became a free agent. So I don't know, it's weird. I've never seen it before, ever, in any sport, honestly. So it sounds like he's probably still going to sign with the Mets. We'll just see what type of contract he gets now, but they'll be paying him as a third baseman because his Puerto Rican buddy Francisco Lindor will be their shortstop still.
That's still crazy. Like I know you said that San Francisco, they're ready to do the press conference and boom, look, nip that in the bud. Okay.
I think San Francisco they potentially could have been the best, the team to win the offseason. And then like they had Judge, apparently, you know, people were saying it. And it was probably just a Boris tactic to try to get the Yankees to pay for Judge more. That's most likely what it was. But you had Giants reporters saying that it's happening. Judge is going to be in the Bay, and then it didn't happen. And then you know the Carlos Correa thing, and then you didn't get that, and there was still Dansby out there you could have gotten. You know, they didn't even do that. So they got Mitch Haniger, who's a really good ball player, but he's not on Correa or Judge's level. They got some good pitching, but not aces. And I think they got Michael Conforto, I believe. So I mean, they made improvements, but it's that their lineup still isn't good, you know. Like I don't know. It's just I couldn't imagine being a San Francisco Giants fan, one of the more historic franchises in all of baseball. You know, won the World Series how many times in the 2010s, and then all the talk about how much money you're going to spend this offseason. And that, you know, it just it didn't happen. I mean, they spent money, obviously, you know, they spent more money than the Cardinals have, but it's just they didn't get the guys that them or their fans wanted. So I don't know. It's really weird.
Okay. So again, what do you say? Since he's going to the Westman College, they're not going to use him as his traditional shortstop and move him to second base.
Oh, they're gonna move him to third base.
Oh, third base. Okay.
Yeah, they're gonna move him to third base, which I mean they have a prospect. I think his name's Matt Beatty. I think that's what it is. Some people think he either might be traded or play out in left field. Eduardo Escobar, who I was assuming was you know, gonna play some third, probably some DH. I've heard his name linked to the Marlins. So now it's like they got all these other moving pieces because I guess they have too many good pieces. I don't know. I guess you can't have too many good pieces, but it's just it's weird. We're still waiting on the announcement to come. I'm surprised it still hasn't happened yet because it's been over a week since that happened.
While we talking about them, let's talk about the hometown real quickly before we wrap up. Coach Willis. So I know you're busy, but when baseball season is in, you're done with basketball. So are you aware of any other players on the baseball team? Do you follow any Cardinal baseball at all?
Not, I only know the players that are just retired. I mean, I follow, like, I mean, obviously I follow the Cardinals, you know, but I don't, like, I know I'm bad. I do go to Cardinals games. I do enjoy going to Cardinals games and all that type of stuff. I'm kind of in track season because I also coach track too.
Oh,
But,
okay.
I do manage to like make a couple games and stuff like that. I did make 2 games last season. I'm so mad because the 2 games that I went with my friends, of course, like all the big hitters like Pool Hall, they didn't play. So I'm like, what? You know, the 2 games I was there in person, like they didn't play them. So like maybe that's another goal for me for 2023 is, know some names so, Joe can be very proud of me when I'm talking and I'm here. But like I do follow the Cardinals. That's about it. I just have like Chicago friends. Like I have the White Sox, friends who like the White Sox, and I have friends who are Cub fans, and it's like conflict of interest there. But yeah, I like when with certain friend groups with like certain like teams that play, like I really pay attention because I just want to rub it in their faces. So, but definitely once the Cardinals starts back up, definitely want to get back to a game. I really enjoy going to the Cardinals game. I actually I think that's like the one time that I can actually sit down and like watch the game. Unless the Cardinals in the World Series, I will watch it on TV if I'm not there in person.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. So, Jobo, give us our thoughts on our off season, how I went with the Cardinals, and what to look forward to next month because spring training's around the corner, believe it or not.
I mean, they made their team better, with getting Wilson Contreras. I still think their pitching's not the greatest, and I don't think we're up there with teams still like the Braves, Phillies, Padres, Dodgers, etc. But I mean, I would put them down to win the Central and do what Mo wants us to do every year, make the playoffs and let's see what happens. But I'm holding out for a trade for an ace-like pitcher this month or next month. So hopefully that happens.
Okay. Well, see, again, one of those we shall see. Oh, one more thing I forgot to mention you all. College National Championship, College Football National Championships next Monday, January 9th. And it will be at SoFi Stadium where the unfortunate LA Rams play and the Los Angeles Chargers. And who will be on the national stage for the championship? It is TCU versus those Bulldogs from Georgia. So that definitely will be exciting because TCU, out of the 14 in the playoffs, TCU is the 4th ranked one. Georgia number 1. So that's a good one. Hopefully it'll be a good matchup. And TCU was getting slack at the middle of the season for their higher ranking. People thinking, oh, those TCU players or teams aren't playing SEC football. They're playing Pac-12. But, hey, they showed up and showed out. They beat Michigan. So they be the Big Ten powerhouse. So they're like, we deserve to be here. So shout out to them. And last but not least, Coach Willis, don't leave us. But I'm going to, again, Jobo did a great job of giving a shout out. So it's hard to fill those shoes, but I'm going to try, Jobo, okay? I'm trying to get on your level, hon, the way you knocked out the park earlier.
Okay.
So got to get a shout out to, of course, our producer, DJ Fred, aka Smooth. Thank you for letting us have our 2-year anniversary. You got this started for us, and we appreciate it. So another ladies' night in the books. And for everybody that was tuned in tonight, thank you. Make sure you follow us on Facebook under the platform Sports Talk Show. And when we have our shows live, make sure you leave all the comments under our page. We also are streaming on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe to the platform Sports Talk Show channel. And you make sure you got to click on that bell, baby. Because when we go live, you will be notified. And also, we are on Hot 365 Radio, where it's always hot. And new to the lineup as well, another streaming platform we're on is the Twitch channel. So shout out to everyone. Listen to us on the Twitch channel. And of course, the first Wednesday of the month is Ladies' Night, but we also have the Man Cave. The fellas bring it on the last Wednesday of the month. So without further ado, we're going to make sure we wave and tell everybody thanks for tuning in. And make sure you share. We have some great topics we discussed. Not just on Ladies Night, not just on the Man Cave. We have the regular platform sports talk show on the other Wednesdays of the month. So tune in 7 p.m. Central Time. Until then, Happy New Year. Good night. And we are out this news.